Hi guys, it's Erin, Book Lioness. I hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. I just wanted to pop on and start a little video series going through each card. I'm going through my old journal. It's kind of falling apart now. The ink and the pencil are starting to fade and smear. Some of the pages are starting to come out of the binding, so I found a new journal to use to replace it, and it's large enough to journal. It has pages for all of the cards, for the elements, the numbers, the court cards, and room to paste a card here for an example of each. I thought while I'm doing this, I may as well do a video. And I thought, well, I can pull out some of the cards for each one that I'm journaling about for that time from each of my decks and grab, like, you know, the top few and review those cards with you and just kind of share feelings on, you know, what each one might mean to me. So while I'm doing this, for those of you who know the tarot like the back of your hand, I'm sure that this seems pretty elementary, but maybe it'll be a trip down memory lane for you, and you'll get to see some of my decks, Fool cards. For those of you that tarot is new, this can be a good time for us to kind of explore together, you know, what each card might mean. And you can share your comments, and we can go from there. I will need a victim deck for my new journal to paste each card. And the one I'm going to be using is this one, the Astrology Answers Master Tarot deck. And it's a Rider-Waite clone. It's got some pretty imagery here. You know, the cards are really lush, obvious clone, but the cardstock for me it's pretty thin, and I thought, well, this deck might not mind, you know, being my little tutor in my journal, so I'll be using that one. Each card will be used in each deck as my example. Before we start looking at some of the Fool cards, I had also thought of maybe, you know, sharing some of the favorite sayings in books and other, you know, people's thoughts on it. But then I thought, no, that is just regurgitating what other people have written, and it's not the intention of, you know, why I'm doing this. I just thought it would be fun to just kind of look at some cards from my decks and share what they mean. For any of those needing a course on tarot cards, that's not my intention either. I can recommend maybe if you look for Jeff at Tattooed Spirit, he's going to be coming out with a new course. Truth and Story does a great job of explaining the cards, and WyllowWynd, the Thrifty Witch, WyllowWynd, that's her, sorry Jennifer. WyllowWynd is also doing a witch course currently, and I'm really loving that. So I will put all three of those links in my description for you if you're looking for a course. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we have our first card. This is from the Pamela Coleman Smith deck. I will make a list of the decks, the cast in the order that they appear in the description for you, so I don't have to call each one out for you. But this is the traditional Rider-Waite Smith design. And this is card 0, the Fool. Now, with the Fool, we want to look at the archetype. We always think of the wanderer, the divine child, the jester. Thinking in pop culture, he is the young Harry Potter, the young Luke Skywalker, Forrest Gump or Mork from Mork and Mindy. His song would be What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. And his number is 0. So it is outside of time. 0 is the cosmic egg. It's all things being possible. This is the card of innocence, of joy, of freedom. And when we think of the Fool, we think of he's without the burden of responsibilities. And those that normally tie you down, without those responsibilities, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. New beginnings and potential and being spontaneous. In this card, you can see he's walking off the edge. There's the sun representing optimism. His bag, which may be his past experiences. His white flower being innocence. And there's his faithful dog, there to be a companion along the way. The mountains being his challenge. And he's just, he's happily going along in his tattered clothes. And, you know, you wonder, is he going to fall to his doom, or is he going to just kind of step off and float using his imagination? It's a great example of the original traditional Fool card. When you look in the movies and you see, you know, the traditional layout, this is that design. Next, we have this one. And this one, there's no dog in it, but look at his face. He is just naive and innocent and joyous. He's expectant. He's anticipating adventure. And he's got the snake there, knowledge. And again, he's in some tattered jester's clothing. The jester was always the one in court to be able to, you know, tell the king what no one else really wanted to say. So he is just doing his own thing. He's taking that leap of faith. He might even be, you know, foolish, but he is doing it. And he has the courage to just go out on a limb and take that chance. That's what this image reminds me of. This one, the dog appears to be headed the other way and, you know, wants no part of falling off the cliff. But maybe that was just the artist's way of doing that. Again, we have the jester's clothes. There's a patch on the trousers. But look at how this Fool is just dancing on the edge of the cliff. There are the mountains, the challenges that are before him. But he is looking up to the sky, up to the optimistic sunshine, and just totally oblivious to danger. Here's another one. He is literally spinning and dancing and oblivious to danger. He is doing his own thing. He's taking that chance. He is in the moment. He's not in the past. He's not in the future. He is in the moment and at one with his own spirit. This one, the Fool, is outside of time. That's why he's standing on the hourglass. His dog is faithfully holding on for his life. And out of his box of experiences, the other cards are, dancing before him. You can kind of glimpse and see there's the Emperor, there's the High Priestess. But those are the experiences that lay out before him. And quite possibly could just be, circling around him as he goes through the circle of life. He's outside of the other archetypes world, so he is, in essence, floating and hovering above the earth. This one, I think I really like it because they're ghosts. And look how he is fondly looking down at his dog. Maybe he is remembering fond memories of their previous lives and is looking forward to happy times in sharing more adventures to come as they start their new journey. This is from my first deck, and you need to look close at this one to see all the detail. There is the cosmic egg with the infant inside, blooming from the lotus. There's the cosmos swirling, the beginning of the universe there, the galaxy starting, the bird of freedom. And there again is the dog, and it's there to try and protect him from the dangerous alligator or the crocodile. And the swirling waves. It's just a beautiful card. There's a lot of detail going on in that. But again, this is our Fool, and look how he is just bravely going out and taking that chance. Excellent card for new beginnings. This one is, instead of a male character, is the female character. And look how she is just joyously dancing on the roof peak there. She is dancing and playing with the birds, and those birds represent freedom. She is talking to them and smiling and almost ecstatic about it, and they are encouraging her. The dog is there, but it's kind of grabbing her tattered skirt to kind of warn her, and her eyes are closed. She's just in bliss and joy, just dancing off of the roof peak there. Here we have a non-humanoid card. This is, I think, an antelope or a gazelle. But this one is called the Traveler in this deck. And look at the bright sunshine, that optimism. And this gazelle is leaping with pure joy and this youthful energy. Just leaping for its happiness and starting out its new life. Beautiful card. Here is the last one. This card is interesting because this is the front side. It's the Viceversa Tarot. But this card shows the traditional Fool. He's got the white flower, the purity, his bag with his experiences, and the snake of knowledge. The sunshine, which is showing optimism on the other side of those mountains of challenge. He is stepping past that crown, so he's not doing this for glory. He is, you can see his face, he's very serene, and he is going to just follow his path and take that step. And what we're not seeing is what is he seeing. So if we flip over the card, that's what's interesting about this deck, we will see what he is seeing. And that is, he sees the universe before him. True, he does see the mountains, the challenge, but he sees what is beyond. He sees the countless stars in the universe and a shooting star. And he is just excited to go out there. And there's his faithful dog, after all, following him. So he is never alone. And I thought that was a beautiful way of showing the optimism of the Fool. So these are just a few cards from some of my decks I thought I would share with you. Well, guys, I hope that was fun for you. I sure had fun sharing my thoughts. And next time we will move on to the second card, actually card one. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and take care.